PRS made some serious waves when they announced their first signature guitar for John Mayer way back in 2018 called the Silver Sky. Now the initial internet reaction was, that's just a Strat with a PRS headstock. But then people started picking them up and the verdict was pretty unanimous that PRS had basically made the perfect Strat. Fast forward to early 2022, PRS released a student edition of the Silver Sky, building a major online buzz by giving one to basically every YouTuber with more than 100 followers, which obviously at the time didn't include this channel. However, I am proud to say we recently acquired the requisite following and convinced PRS to send us an unpaid loaner guitar. And after spending some time with it, it's easy to see why people love the SE Silver Sky so much. So let's talk first of all about who this guitar is for. Now the SE Silver Sky is part of PRS's student edition range, which means it's manufactured in Indonesia by Cort as opposed to being a USA made guitar. Accordingly, it retails for about $850, which is the same price as a Player Series Fender Strat, what we used to call a Mexican Strat. That means it's not quite the beginner Squire Series market, but someone who's a little bit more intermediate and might be looking for a great mid-range Strat style single coil guitar. So super quickly on the tech specs for the guitar, it's a 25.5 inch Strat style scale length, it's got a poplar body, a 22 fret maple neck with a satin back and this 635JM neck carve, which is super comfortable, a little more modern feeling compared to a Strat. Rosewood fingerboard with an 8.5 inch radius and those PRS bird inlays, synthetic bone nut, and a 3x3 headstock with a slight tilt back as compared to a Strat that's quite straight. The guitar also has vintage style non-locking tuners. I will say that the grey plasticky buttons on the tuners are my least favourite part of the guitar. They work fine, but they feel pretty cheap. Now let's talk about the electronics on here. So the pickups are PRS 635JM-S pickups, which are the import version of the 635JM pickups they introduced in 2018 for the Silver Sky. The pickups are super detailed and range from a predictably creamy sound in the neck to a bridge pickup that's kind of a more rounded and musical version of what you typically get on a Strat. The other thing I really liked about the pickups is they're incredibly quiet. I personally struggle a lot with electrical noise in my house, and when I pull up my Mexican Strat, things get really messy fast. On the other hand, when I plugged in the SE Silver Sky, it was actually as quiet as any of my humbucker guitars, which meant I played the guitar far longer than I normally would with my Strat. Here's each of the three pickups, starting with the bridge. Finally, the guitar is super comfortable to play due to a handful of small improvements PRS made over your traditional Strat, and I think it's the sum of these improvements along with the pickups that for me make this guitar the choice over the Player or Mexican Strat. Firstly, the poplar body is lighter than your traditional Adler, which means it sits more comfortably, at least for me, and then you have the 1-2 punch of the contoured heel joint and the PRS lower horn scoop that makes playing up high super comfortable. Another small improvement is the 2-point trem is pop-in instead of screw-in, which means you can leave it sit right where you need it and it doesn't have that little bit of play you can get with a screw-in trem arm. Now in addition to that, the fit and finish on the guitar is immaculate. So the nut is well cut, the fret ends are smooth, there's no grittiness or choking anywhere in the neck, and there's no plastic or paintwork anywhere it shouldn't be. Now the guitar was sent for review by PRS, so you could argue they may be giving it a once-over, but there's enough customer reviews out there now to indicate that this is the norm. Now one thing the Strat has over the SE Silver Sky is you get far more options. You can get a maple or Palfaro fingerboard, you can get a left-handed model, you can get different pickup configurations compared to the 3 single coils on the SE Silver Sky, and of course the Strat comes in just about any colour compared to the 4 colours of the PRS. There's the evergreen that we have here, plus a dragon fruit, moon white and stone blue. This might change over time as the SE Silver Sky matures, but for now it's basically one offering in 4 colours. So overall, I would say this about the PRS SE Silver Sky. It's definitely more of an evolution of the Strat than a revolution, but there's enough evolution here that I personally wouldn't hesitate to pick it over a Player Series Strat. It comes really well set up with immaculate fit and finish, the pickups are exceptional, and it's overall super comfortable to play, which in the end is what it's all about. Now, if you enjoyed this review, please do us a solid and subscribe to the channel. We currently have less than 1,000 subscribers, so every sub helps. Feel free, of course, to hit like and leave a comment. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.